normal patients. Then after the lockdown and after the first phase was going vigorously, on May 17, 2020, on the World Telecom and Information Technology Day, at Institute of Engineers, that particular function, World Telecom Day function, we have decided why not we have healthcare, advances in healthcare, and how image processing is used for virtual realities and remote surgeries and accurate radiation therapy and all that. So many things we discussed. Then President IEI Kolkata, he has approved this idea of 2-day seminar with healthcare. Then we started this seminar last 7 to 8 months. We contacted number of speakers. Readily, about 12 speakers who are carrying out the research in the advanced areas of healthcare and challenges and solutions. So during these 2 days deliberations, I don't take much time, but I just want to brief. We have very good speakers. There are deep learning models from medical images by Professor Lawrence from University of South Florida. And we have multimodal and medical data fusion. Normally we talk about medical image fusion, but fusing the multimodal images, health data, and pathology data and lab data, all of them together, fusing, and then analyzing the patient diseases. That is the current trend, and there is talk by Dr. Sanjay. Similarly, we requested Dr. Sunita from UK. She is a consultant psychiatrist. I asked her to share her experience with treating the COVID patients and what was the impact of COVID on mental health and etc. She said she'll deliver the talk. Then we have Professor R.S. Anand. He is from IIT Roorkee. He readily accepted, and he is talking about ultrasound medical image processing, because this is a very important thing. Most of us, when we go to hospital, first we have the ultrasound imaging. Similarly, we have a talk giving the exposure of various hospital imaging systems, whether you talk about MRI, CT, or PET, how they work and how they're useful for analyzing the patient diseases. Then we have Professor Udit from IIT Patna. He is talking about latest on the digitization of health services, that is Internet of Medical Things. That is when you want to have the autonomous hospital, or when you want to have electronic health data recordings and all those he's talking about. Then currently, a lot of women, they suffer all over the world and more so in India with breast cancer. How to detect the breast cancer in early stages in advance using the artificial intelligence. Dr. Spandana, she is going to talk about that. And a lot of people in India, a lot of population in India suffer from eye diseases. So we requested Professor Manjula to talk about eye diseases. She is going to talk about that. And then all this, when you talk about today, for the medical imaging and analyzing the medical data, most of the cases doctors use today artificial intelligence and deep learning networks To have an overall understanding, we requested Professor Anita Sheila, who is going to talk about artificial intelligence and deep learning networks. Then we have the challenges. What are the solutions? Current trends in healthcare systems and challenges, address of healthcare needs among rural population. We have Professor Jabez. He is going to talk about that. So what I am saying is, though it took almost a year for approval, and then afterwards we started searching for the good expert speakers. We have about 12 speakers who are talking about various things which we faced problems during the pandemic 2020, how later they are solved, and what is happening worldwide. Now, treating the COVID patients as well as normal patients, keeping them in the homes and then doctors consulting and treating them. We are talking about all that. Then we have interesting things. Tomorrow, panel discussion. We invited some doctors to share their experience about the COVID virus, coronavirus analysis. Initially, worldwide, doctors were using the chest X-ray. Later, they moved to chest CT for analysis. What is the volume of virus in the lungs? And accordingly, they started treating. So this covers today and tomorrow. We have feast of talks where we get experience on the healthcare and advances and how we go about and what is the future healthcare. These are all the talks. So with this, I think this is the background and these are the talks that are available for today and tomorrow. So thank you so much for all the participants and dignitaries to participate in this today's seminar and deliberating. Thank you. Subredgar, you have to unmute. You have to unmute.
Lot of funding they are doing, and at the same time, literally, we can able to get technical knowledge on this today. So I convey my profuse thanks to Inaugural. Now I invite you to take a talk. Thank you.
Thank you, Subreddy Garu. I hope I'm audible.
Yeah, you're audible.
Good morning, Professor Kamal sir. Good morning, Narendra Singh ji.
Please can you tell me the name of the person who are attending?
Good morning, Kiran Kumar sir, for being part of this seminar. And on the offset, like I would want to congratulate or thanks to both the Institute of Engineers and IEEE Hyderabad section volunteers, especially KM Rao Garu for spearheading this initiative and coming together to create a compendium of information, especially with respect to this like kind of COVID situation, where such information would be handy for use of individuals, both professional as well as researchers who want to kickstart their activities to come up with solutions which are like on a fast track. So like kind of we have been hit with pandemic wherein all the industries got impacted, all the domains got impacted, wherein the healthcare system has to take the beating, but still keep the ball rolling and keep moving. In light of that situation, a lot of challenges were there where they had to fast track their solutions to come up with and then provide the necessary care or necessary preventive measures like the vaccination, so that the virus can be addressed as a preventive mechanism, as well as treat the patients who are impacted. There were a lot of approaches which were taken to address the patients' problems. Rao Garu has already highlighted some of those mechanisms through which the medical community has taken the steps. Also, like the solutions that were given from various society segments, like those they were small or big or whatever, they were with the aim to contribute to solve the problem at hand. So I think in that regard, the technological advancements which are available currently in terms of processing large volumes of data, high computational powers, and the leverage of technologies like artificial intelligence, deep learning, they have come really handy in terms of arriving at a conclusion or arriving at an outcome as to what those images or what those pathological findings mean. So in that regard, the fusion, as Rao Garu has been mentioning, the collaboration across industry segments also has become a key element in arriving at these solutions. On that note, basically, I would say these 2 days are fully loaded with information to be delivered by the experts in each of those areas, and it would definitely be a great learning for the participants to take advantage of this occasion. Also, the collaboration has been created in such a way that it would have a maximum reach of communities across both IEEE and Institute of Engineers, and by the other fraternity at large, like the researchers or the student community, so that they can take it forward from the knowledge or the resources that are being made available through the seminar. So on that note, already a lot of things probably have been conveyed by Ramana Garu, Subbireddy Garu, and Rao Garu. I would just wish the seminar organizers all the best, and the participants also happy learning. On that note, I would like to congratulate and thank you. Thank you once again for giving me the opportunity. Over to you, Subbireddy Garu. Thank you.
Come on. Okay. Now, keynote address by Dr. A.S. Kiran Kumar, former chairman, ISRO. Huh? I think you heard. I invite minority to introduce. Dr. came around to introduce Kiran Kumar. Sorry. So, a little just change. Dr. Brahmareddy Garu, Dr. Engineer Brahmareddy Garu, he has to address the gathering. I invite the Brahmareddy Garu to address the gathering, ETD member.
Very good morning to the president of IEI, everyone, respected chief guest, Sri Narendra Singh Ji, President IEI, eminent keynote speaker, Dr. A.S. Kiran Kumar, former chairman ISRO, guest of honor and fellow council member, Professor Dr. T.S. Kamal, Chairman, Electronics and Telecommunication Division Board, Institution of Engineers, India, Chairman of Telangana State Center, Professor Dr. P. Ramana Nayak, Chairman of IEEE Hyderabad Section, Sri Srinivas Jasti, Dr. KMM Rao Garu, Chairman, Technical Committee of this event, Engineer K. Supareddy, Convener of Organizing Committee and member of Telangana State Center, IEI, our beloved past President, GL Rao Garu, past Chairman, Dr. ISM Raj Garu, and past Vice President of IETE, Brigadier and Dr. Abram Saab, Council members of Institution of Engineers, Committee members of Telangana State Center, corporate and non-corporate members of Institution of Engineers India, all dignitaries and participants on dais, off the dais, in the virtual meeting, all members of IEEE who are participating in this event, and the members of Technical Committee and Vice Chairman Dr. Anita Sheila, and members of print and electronic media, students, ladies and gentlemen. I wish once again good morning and greetings to one and all. It's a great honor for me to be part of this wonderful virtual event on this pleasant morning. The two-day virtual seminar on technological advancements in the healthcare challenges, role of image processing is being organized by Telangana State Center, Institution of Engineers India, jointly with IEEE Hyderabad Section. We all witnessed for the past 1.5 years how the pandemic COVID-19 has been playing havoc with the health of people across the globe, and all the activities have come to stand still. It also gave a new scope and opportunities to improve in research of the new technologies. The radiology professionals today can do more than just what you look at a decades back, that only X-rays and ultrasound was in their hands, but today they have more and more sophisticated modalities. They have a window into the human body with the technologies like today magnetic resonance imaging, that is known as MRI, positron emission tomography, and computed tomography, to name a few more modalities, and so on. The technology that drives accurate and consistent medical imaging has grown and improved steadily, making it easier for health professionals to identify the correct diagnosis and analyze the disease for better treatment of the patients. As a result, the future of medical imaging are likely to evolve and improve through the 2020s, and for the past 1.5 years, that ensuring that radiologists can continue to make accurate and efficient diagnosis that enable medical providers and patients to choose the best and most effective treatment options. And that is in future the virtual reality, and as even we know that during COVID, lot of medicine has been conducted over the telephones using the artificial intelligence. So the future technologies, virtual reality and 3D imaging, artificial intelligence and nuclear imaging, intraoperative imaging, wearable technology, all these, and also already robotics have started during the COVID period in hospital management as well as patient management. And now the microbots also are being used, are going to be used in the surgeries in the days to come, and even hospital management during the pandemic has been done by the machines. I am sure this seminar will provide a great opportunity to all the professionals, engineers in the field of biomedical engineering and healthcare and connected. So this seminar, I am sure, at the end of the day on 18th, if most of the stakeholders will benefit out of this. So I thank KMM Raghav for taking a lot of initiative to prepare all this. And I thank once again, I thank you, the Telangana State Center, and for giving me this opportunity. Thank you very much.
Now, it is a term of Dr. S. Kumar.
Let me introduce.
Invite Dr. KM Rao Garu, Chairman Technical Committee, to introduce him to the gathering. Thank you. KM Rao Garu.
Yeah, thank you. I have the privilege to introduce Dr. A.S. Kiran Kumar. Though he doesn't keep doctor in front of his name, but several universities, knowing his contributions, honored him with doctorates. So Dr. Kiran Kumar is currently Vikram Sarabhai Professor at ISRO Bangalore. Earlier, during 2015 to 18, he was Chairman ISRO and Secretary Department of Space. He is a key person implementing various payloads for remote sensing satellites, giving rise to rapid development of the country in many important spheres of Earth observation, communication, navigation, meteorology, space science, and so on. This also paved the way for indigenous launch vehicles and related technologies, providing assured access to space. He has led, designed, and developed more than 50 electro-optical imaging sensors, which are flown successfully on board. Further, his role is role for success of Chandrayaan and Mars missions, which all of us know. And he is Chairman Committee of Earth Observation Satellites. He has made valuable contributions to coordination group of meteorological satellites, expert team of satellite systems, World Meteorological Organization, and Indo-US Joint Working Group on Civil Space Cooperation. In all these committees, he contributed significantly. And he is a fellow of number of engineering and scientific institutions. This is just going more than a page, so I read only a few of them. Kiran is the President, Aeronautical Society of India, Fellow, Indian National Academy of Engineers and National Academy of Sciences, and Indian Society of Remote Sensing. And he is a Fellow, Andhra Pradesh Academy of Sciences, and he has been conferred with honoris causa and DSc by 18 Indian academic institutions. That's what I'm saying. He's more than a doctorate with his contributions and his publications. He has more than 85 publications in various national and international journals and symposia. In recognition of his contribution, he was conferred Padma Shri by President of India during 2014. And he's got many other honors, Rajyotsav Award 2015 and Visvesvaraya Senior Scientist State Award by Karnataka government during 2013, Lifetime Achievement Award from Karnataka Science and Technology during 2016, He is a IASC Distinguished Alumni Award he got in 2015. Gujarat Ratna Life for Innovation Award conferred by Gujarat Innovation Society in 2014. Lifetime Achievement Award of Andhra Pradesh Academy of Sciences in 2016. Bharat Ratna Visvesvaraya Centenary Award by University of Mysore in 2016. And he got PM Modi Science Award in 2016. And he's been conferred with the prestigious 2018 International Von Karman Wings Award instituted by Aerospace Historical Society together with the Graduate Aerospace Laboratories in the California Institute of Technology during 2018. And he's got another highest honor from France, government of France, Chevrolet Ade National de Lag honor by government of France. And there are many more things in his biodata. I think due to lack of time, I just now request Dr. Kiran to give his keynote address.
Thank you, KMM, and for that introduction. Dr. Narendra Singh, President of IEI, Professor Kamal, Dr. Brahma Reddy, Srinivas Tyagi, Subba Reddy, all the members of the Indian Institution of Engineers for participating in this program, and also IEEE Hyderabad. Both of them together is organizing this seminar on technological advancements in healthcare challenges, a role of medical image processing. Today, we do realize that what the pandemic has done, in fact, the pandemic in a way has reset every individual's life thinking process on this planet Earth. It has made everybody take note of life and introspect and retrospect. And in this process, with the very large population of the globe, healthcare has taken a major beating, and also it is an opportunity for many, and it's an opportunity for the industry which is running the healthcare. We were quite clear, as was already pointed out, during the pandemic, this was an event which came in a way all of a sudden for the governments, for the institutions which are providing healthcare, and it's a totally new disease, and doctors and all the healthcare professionals really had tough time dealing with large number of cases which was coming up. Now, in this context, we are quite clear that those countries and those places where there is a strong scientific and engineering support available, people can really make a huge difference, and they can deal with the kind of situation that we faced. India, as you are aware, has fared very well in dealing with this pandemic, and the first two phases, and now what the so-called third wave, what is going to come in all this, the Indian scientific and technical community has shown that the country has the intrinsic strength to deal with situations of this type. But when we look at healthcare, it starts right from as long as the humans existed on this planet Earth, the health is an issue. And in the initial periods, people did not have any mechanisms to understand the internal behavior of the individual. But what they did is what was accessible to them by observations, by physical contact, and then by observing whatever pulses, or by looking at the patients' eye, tongue, etc. So gradually they started correlating available sensory information with the behavior, and then they started generating, providing the healthcare. And much of our own traditional healthcare system really was an integral one in the sense it accounted for the basic control system, which actually takes care of the all the functions of the human body. We know that while we are consciously not really controlling all the functions of our own human body, there are huge number of systems within us which actually takes care of many functions which we are not even aware how it happens. But as science and technology evolved, as man started bringing in better and better tools. For example, if you look at our eyes, can see a very small portion of the electromagnetic spectrum from 400 to 700 nanometers. But then as scientists and engineers started developing tools, for example, the X-ray tool, and then you could see how the internal structure of the human skeleton and many other things could be visualized. And as the wavelengths went beyond 400 to 700, on the longer side, you have the thermal infrared, microwave, and then you have radio waves. On the shorter side, ultraviolet, X-rays, and the light gamma rays, etc. So basically, the science and technology started developing tools which are enabling our own perception system, which makes use of visual or sound or touch or even smell, many of these things. Now the technology started evolving, and not only technology for looking at various aspects of human life, and even the human lifestyles also are changing continuously, and what is applicable in one generation or one period changes significantly, because the human being today, the way he lives is so very different from the way maybe our ancestors or even our grandparents, great grandparents lived. And whatever mechanisms that were acceptable during those periods actually becomes less and less effective today for understanding all the external behavior and the external interactions with respect to the human being. But one thing which remains common is the intellectual capability of the individual and how it controls and tries to maintain the health. Now, if we look at India, I remember very much as the technology started developing during my days at the Indian Institute of Science. In fact, Dr. K.M.M. Rao was also part of that laboratory where India in the early 70s developed a technology of what you can call as a drum scanner, where we made use of X-rays, the angiograms taken by doctors, and then these angiograms, some of them quality used to be not so good, and if the quality is not good, the person who is looking at this X-ray or the angiogram needed another retake of that, and this would have meant that additional injection of the whatever tracers into the human body, or taking X-ray again, which is exposing him multiple times. So the image processing, which was requiring computer intervention on all digital data or even analog data handling, there was a mechanism required for converting films into an electrical domain. And the first drum scanner was established in Indian Institute of Science. And that's how my own interaction of image processing and how image processing could help the healthcare professionals by enabling them to actually improve on the quality of the images that are present. And of course, compared to those days, things are moved very rapidly. And today, the images are available from a host of different mechanisms, like we're talking about, whether it is X-rays or PET or SPEC, like a single photon emission thing or positron emission, or even acoustic energy based systems. So in all this, the actually more and more images are getting generated, and the way the images are being projected onto the for observation from recording onto the films to displaying it on the display devices, which were CRTs earlier, gradually changed to plasma and then LED based thing. Today, you have in your hand a device which has got the power of a computer, which is much bigger than what NASA used for sending even human beings to moon. So as the technology is developing, both in terms of imaging technology and in terms of processing that data and the handling of them, there is a sea change that has happened. And what this has done is, in the hands of the technologists and the people, it is providing tools to enable people who are delivering the healthcare. And then, while in the 2-day seminar, you will get into more and more details of how these images are getting processed, what kind of deep learning techniques are going to be used, machine learning, artificial intelligence, or even the augmented reality and virtual reality, and how all of this is actually enabling people to provide better and better tools to healthcare professionals. But what I would like to do is, while the experts are going to talk about all this and tell you, and today the technology is moving at such a fast pace that every day we hear new things. For example, we are told that a mobile-like device in a couple of maybe years will be sufficient to generate the magnetic resonance imaging, MRI imaging of a human being. And today the brain research that is going on is actually showcasing so much more information. But then, where are the things heading? And countries like India, which is a developing country, what is the scenario that is going to happen in healthcare industry and in health, how academia and industry needs to tackle the problems of healthcare is what I would like to touch upon and give some thought, maybe raise some questions which should actually be pursued both by academia and the industry in providing solutions to the fellow countrymen. See, as we are very clear, we are a developing country or approaching towards developed country. Economy is improving. Economy, we are going to become from fifth to maybe fourth, third, second, and first. But then, what was existing till today, how it is going to change very rapidly in the coming days, is actually seen by how huge companies, like whether it is Google, Amazon, or even Facebook or Twitter, all these companies are investing billions and billions of money, dollar money, in artificial intelligence and machine learning techniques. And for them, for all these models, obviously input is data, and that data, when it is available in large volumes, statistics becomes better, and with improved statistics, the solutions what is provided becomes more and more, you can say, controlled. And today, for example, in a hospital, if you have all the assisted, instrument assisted information generation, and purely because of the volume of data, suppose you are taking images at regular intervals every few seconds or few hours, and then if you take the number of patients that are there, the total number of images that requires to be processed becomes so huge. And also, if you want to do based on the successes achieved, where by looking at the images, you can tell few years in advance what kind of a disease the person is likely to get. All this is a result of artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning. But the problem that I'm trying to pose is, see, the companies which are there, they are making use of tools available globally, collecting data of the patients on the global scale, some in a legal manner, and many of them maybe clandestinely, because when you are using your mobile and other devices for collecting data, all that data gets into their system, and this goes into their huge models, and based on the models, they are coming out with solutions. And these solutions become software tools in the hands of healthcare, both professionals and who are obviously cannot be blamed simply because they have the tool and they want to use and provide better solutions to the people. But then it will result in a scenario where the country becomes dependent on such systems, and our own ability to independently deal gets actually limited. So this is a challenge. If this challenge is to be overcome, then we also need to work with data. Many times you would have heard of bias in data analysis. Bias in data analysis comes because Western lifestyles are very different from our Eastern or Southeastern Asian lifestyle. The culture, many of these comes into picture. So the statistics of people of this country can have a different result, but when it is merged with the global statistics, the whatever solutions that comes, and if that solution is forced on everybody else simply because that is accessible today, it also produces other problems which we will learn over a period of time. So in many such scenarios, the importance of our own ability to deal with and then learn, apply, and make use of our wisdom and the traditional knowledge that an integrated approach for healthcare can give you better solutions is what is required to be adopted. And I would actually urge all the professionals, both who are providing solutions and also who are providing instrumentation and various capabilities, to keep this in mind and look at how India, which is supposed to have a tremendous intellectual capability and also software capability, if we do not take note of this, again, another kind of colonization will have, digital colonization will take place. So this is the challenge. To me, the technology grows very fast, and countries like us, we have all levels of people from villages to most advanced living standards in cities, or because of the shrunken global scenario, there'll be people at both extremes. The country has to provide solutions to all of them. So it is here that thinking and more important thought processes are necessary. And events like this, where technological advancements and healthcare challenges, etc., are being addressed, it's also important to address the impact of these tools like AI, how it is going to impact the country as a whole and the healthcare and the cost of healthcare. All this should also become part of your deliberation, if not in this seminar, in a subsequent seminar. So thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to talk about few of these aspects. India is on the threshold of many successful endeavors, and it's only when those who acquire the knowledge and skills worry about the future of the country, the future becomes better. And when they also realize it is the entire, our traditional wisdom is the human being has a capability to look inwards and look at the integral life of the individual. And this is one of the things which our wisdom, traditional wisdom has shown. This should remain an integral part of our processes is one of the things I would like to just point out. So thank you very much. Wish the whole 2-day sessions a great success, and wish that it leads to better healthcare solutions in the country. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Yes, Kumar. Very detailed informative talk. Excellent. A lot of applause actually to receive it. Thank you very much, sir. Now, I invite our senior most council member in from EMT, Dr. T.S. Professor Dr. T.S. Kamalji, FIE, and Chairman ETE, Institute of Engineering. So before going to address, may I invite Engineer V. Brahmareddy garu to introduce you.
Once again, good morning and Professor Dr. T.S. Kamalji, today's guest of honor. He is a FIE, he is fellow in IET, life senior member in IEEE USA, life member Indian Science Congress Association, in PE Electronics and Communication, ME Communication from University of Roorkee, now IIT Gold Medalist and PhD from Punjab University. He has guided 25 scholars for PhD degrees and 5 more are pursuing the research work for PhD under his guidance. More than 40 students are guided for master degree. He started his career as a assistant professor and retired as professor from Punjab Engineering College, Chandigarh, and later worked as a professor and officer on special duty in Sant Lagawal Institute of Engineering and Technological, deemed to be university, member of various boards, committees of universities, and expert to examine the PhD thesis. He has published more than 230 research papers in international and national referred journals and presented research papers in international and national conferences. He organized 2 international and many national events and engineering congress successfully in Punjab and Chandigarh State Center. Chandigarh research work has been widely cited by many research scholars and concept in the paper application of DGS in microstrip patch antenna is a testimony of invention by his group. He presided over engineering section of Indian Science Congress at Ahmedabad section in year 2005 and delivered platinum jubilee lecture at the Visakhapatnam session of ISEA. He helped in setting up 3 new engineering colleges. He joined IEI in the year 1972 as member and was upgraded to the fellow grade later. Elected to State Central Committee in the year 1980 and he was elected honorary secretary in 1989 and State Central Chairman in the year 1999. He was inducted in IEI Council as a member in the year 1991 and continuing till date, the longest serving council member in the Council of Institution of Engineers. As of his held various positions such as Vice President and Chairman and member of important statutory committees. He was awarded Sir Thomas Watt Gold Medal Prize for best papers published in Electronics and Telecommunications Journal of Institution of Engineers India. He was nominated to governing bodies of education institutes. At present, helping IEI as member of subcommittee to safeguard interests of Institution of Engineering in the Honorable High Court in Delhi, convener of the 34th National Convention of Electronics and Telecommunications at Chandigarh during October 21st to 22nd, 2018. He was convener of International Conference on Electronics and Communication, Renewable Energy and IoT, Vision 2040 at Chandigarh during September 17, 7 and 8, 2019. Professor, I thank Professor Kamal Garu for this excellent biodata. I request students to invite him for his lecture. Thank you, sir.
Dr. Kamalji.
Hello. I'm audible, sir. I'm audible. Sir, I am audible.
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Good morning. First of all, I take this opportunity to bow my head for our very senior past president, Shri G.L. Raoji, who has contributed a lot and he has guided us and we have learned from him so many things. And respected engineer Nirendra Singh Ji, President, IEI, Professor Dr. Raman Naik, Chairman of the Telangana State Center, Engineer Brahma Reddy Ji, Chairman elect of the Telangana State Center, Srinivas Jastiji, Chairman of the IEEE, which has made this function as a international. Dr. K.M. Rao, Chairman Technical Committee, Dr. A.S. Kiran Kumar ji, today's keynote speaker, who has former Chairman of the ISRO. Shri Brigadier Dr. B.D. Abraham and Dr. I.S.N. Raju, past president of the past chairman of the Telangana State Center, and Shri T. Engineer, the Honorary Secretary of the State Center, and all respected corporate members and members of the ETD division and all other respected members for sparing their time and joining for this very important and relevant to present day event. I put on record my gratitude towards the Telangana State Center Committee for organizing this and upgrading its status to the international one by the, as we have got the first papers from the Florida and IEEE, etc. They are sharing, participating in it. Thank you very much for the State Center Committee. I welcome you all to this important event concerning the technological advancements in the healthcare challenges, role of medical image processing as one of the world's largest and fastest growing industries. Healthcare engineering refers to all aspects of the prevention, diagnosis, treatment, and management of illness, as well as the preservation and improvement of the physical and mental health well-being through the medical services. Medical imaging technology play more important roles, not only in the diagnosis and treatment of the disease, but also in the disease prevention, health checkup, major disease screening, health management, early diagnosis, disease severity, evaluation, choice of the treatment methods, treatment effect evaluation, and rehabilitation. The status of the medical image technology has increased continuously in the healthcare applications. Due to its ability to make the diagnosis and treatment of disease, image-guided surgery, and other medical links more timely, accurate, and efficient, medical image enhancement has become a routine task through producing both excellent tissue uniformity, optimized contrast, edge enhancement, artifact elimination, intelligent noise reduction, and so forth. Cutting edge image enhancement helps doctors accurately interpret medical images, a crucial foundation for the better diagnosis and the treatment. But after hearing the lecture from our key speaker, Kiran Kumar ji, I don't find anything more which I can talk about it. He has dealt the subject so thoroughly and so well. He has given the information which can be used anywhere and which has enlightened us. So with this, I congratulate the Telangana State Center for organizing this event on behalf of the ETD division, and wish this program very successful conclusion and I wish that some useful recommendations emerge out of this, which can be useful to present day conditions which we are facing due to this all 2 years, you can say long events. But one challenge which I fear, which I apprehend is as we go to the higher technology, for example, automation, etc. One fear is that most of the work is taken up by the machine, and in turn, lots of people are, you can say, they seek jobs. My challenge, my thing is that along with this, how we can manage the skill development for those people, those who will be needing, who will be requiring the jobs. As you can say, you can understand what I mean to say, that because automation creates so many things, and that you don't need any manpower working in the lab and working on the shop floor. We have seen the working in the automation automobile industries. So, big challenge I feel is today to create the jobs, to create the you can say to create the jobs for the reluctant people, those who will not get the job. Otherwise, there were so many ancillary systems, they were useful, they were using something. But now the traditional time has come when we are to make a compromise. We are to generate the more jobs for those people. With this, I wish a great success to the seminar, and I will request the president to keep a blessing the position of the president to the ETD division, so that we are able to conduct so many other activities also in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Kamalji. And this is also, you are showing much of talent actually. You are my inspiration. And actually, people are telling that you are very much here and you are thinking very active. And you are inspiration to me actually. You are 10 years ahead of me. Thank you very much, Kamalji. Very inquisitive lecture. Actually, you have made. We are very much thankful to you. Thank you, Kamalji. And now, the main speech of this event, Engineer Narendra Singh Ji is the chief guest of this function. So I invite, before going him, I may request Dr. I. Satyanarayan Garu, former council member, and also past chairman, Telangana and Andhra State Center combined, and also Telangana State Center also. And at the same time, he is a real guide for me actually during my first year of technical committee member. And at the time, really we have excelled, both actually because of his guidance and whatever maybe support. So many of the programs we did it actually during this time. Thank you. Thank you, Ayush Radhikar. You please introduce me, Dr. I am Engineer Narendra Singh, Chief Guest of this event.
Good morning to all of you and namaskar, dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, distinguished speakers of the seminar. I feel to introduce our beloved President, Sri Narendra Singh Ji, on this inaugural session. Engineer Narendra Singh has a degree in civil engineering from Motilal Nehru National Institute of Technology, Allahabad, and a post-graduation in engineering in irrigation and hydro from University of Roorkee. Engineer Narendra Singh served in the irrigation department of the erstwhile Uttar Pradesh and also present Uttarakhand states. And he served with a distinction and has a vast experience in project implementation, ranging from small, medium-scale hydro power projects and major hydraulic structures such as cross regulators, composite pulse on Madhya Ganga Canal project. Engineer Narendra Singh was instrumental in successful rehabilitation of rural and urban families affected by the construction of the most important nationally famous Tehri Dam project with a power generating capacity of 1,000 megawatts. His considerable efforts during his tenure with Tehri Hydro Power Development Corporation of India Limited have won accolades, especially for his deft handling of the sensitive issue in the late down time frame. Based on his experience, he has authored a popular book titled Rehabilitation, Resettlement, Tehri Dam, and Other Major Hydropower Projects in India, and of course for the future. Engineer Narendra Singh has rendered exceptional service to the Institution of Engineers in various capacities. He is the founder chairman of the newly formed state of Uttarakhand State Center, and he is credited with the construction of a modern building for this center in cooperation with the government of Uttarakhand and public TSCs. Engineer Narendra Singh has contributed significantly and added value while serving on very important committees and the council of the institution. He has been a major contributor in various initiatives undertaken in enhancing the role, relevance, and image of the institution. Engineer Narendra Singh displayed exceptional ability in organizing high council meetings of the Institute of Engineers at various venues. Engineer Narendra Singh has been a vice president of the Institute of Engineers during the period 2012 and 13. Engineer Narendra Singh is also credited with focused efforts in promoting regional languages by first time publishing Abhiyanta Bandhu, a multilingual yearly journal of engineering papers, as well as a life sketch of Bharat Ratna Sir Moksha Vishwesvaraya in Hindi, that is the national language. Engineer Narendra Singh has been recognized through various awards for his contribution to the engineering profession, as well as for his involvement in social causes and community development. He has traveled widely on work and leisure. He is actively involved in various professional bodies and has been executive member of All India Engineers Federation and a member of National Institute of Technology India as a life member. He is active in the education sector and his interests include horticulture focused on creating a green government. He has been unanimously elected as President of Institute of Engineers for the session 2019 and 2020, and he is continued for the second term also as the President 2020 and 21 by the Council of Institute of Engineers, which is a testimony and recognition of his sterling and long-standing contribution to the institution and the engineering profession. I thank Dr. B. Raman Naik Garu, Chairman of IEI, Dr. B. Brahmareddy Garu, Chairman of IEI State Center, for giving me an opportunity to present the biodata of our esteemed President, Engineer Narendra Singh. Thank you very much.
Now, I invite Engineer Narendra Singh.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Release the ESOD. And at the same time, on behalf of him, this is the actual sovereign actually, the chairman, Ramana Naik, he will read.
Okay. Congratulations to all on releasing this souvenir. Okay, sir. Okay. ठीक है. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning to all. On behalf of Institution of Engineers, I welcome Dr. A.S. Kiran Kumar, former Chairman ISRO, guest of honor, Professor T.S. Kamal, Chairman, ETDB. I also welcome Dr. Ramanna Nayak, Chairman of this Telangana State Center, and T. Anjaniya, Honorary Secretary of Telangana State Center. I welcome Subhi Reddy ji, convener of this webinar or organizing committee, Mr. M. Rao, Chairman of the Technical Committee, Engineer Brahma Reddy, our council colleague and Chairman-elect of Telangana State Center. Dear fellow engineers, attendees, this is a great opportunity for all of us to be a part of this All India webinar on technological advancement in healthcare and challenges a role of medical image processing, being organized by Institution of Engineers, Telangana State Center, under the aegis of Electronics and Communication Engineering Division Board. I congratulate the organizers on this occasion because they have chosen a very relevant subject of today and national importance. Friends, due to COVID-19, when the whole world came in abnormal situation of heart and normal activities came standstill, the Institution of Engineers took a decision to provide the series of its to give services to its members by using online platform. Accordingly, Institution of Engineers ventured into the technical activities in virtual mode on contemporary and emerging topics. So our engineers members can be benefited and can get the information on the latest technology and development for their comfort sitting from home. Because we provide technological advancement, we provided this facility through the webinar. Friends, our engineers have also contributed and shown resilient spirit of innovation in this tough time and have been the silent frontline workers and create and design some very important products to combat COVID. We always been instrumental in changing the world. I'm happy to announce today that a book of engineers' role with medical professionals in combating this COVID will be released very soonly and under preparation. I feel before up to 36 engineering congress, this book will be released by Institution of Engineers. Over to the theme, I would like to say much has been said by our eminent speaker, keynote speakers, nothing to say more, but even then I'll like to express the utilization of the medical images in clinical investigation and disease diagnosis. It has become very interdisciplinary research field for our expert mathematicians, engineers, biologists, physicians, statistics, and medicine personnel. The discovery of X-ray in 1895, where images are routinely acquired for medical diagnosis. I am happy that digital image processing has become increasingly important for healthcare system. Digital images are composed of individual pixels. They can be efficiently processed, objectively evaluated, and made available to many places at the same time by means of the appropriate communication network and protocols. Such a picture archiving and communication system and the digital images and communication in medicine has become a protocol. Respectively, based on the digital imaging technique, the entire spectrum of digital image processing is now applicable to the study of medicines. Friends, although we have achieved a lot, but rural area is still suffering and unable to use this high practice and because it is a costly device. The advancement in the treatment method of surgeries are taking place in healthcare with the advancement of imaging system, imaging processing software, artificial intelligence technique, robotics, etc. Image processing help in easy diagnosis of disease. Non-invasive surgeries, remote surgery, automated hospital facilities, and many more activities for healthcare have been developed, but where our 70% people live, they are the villages. This technology is still very costly and unaffordable for them. Although I feel and wish this technology will become cheaper and by the use of the medical image processing, this technology will approach to the villages also. During last decade, paradigm medical image processing have changed. In 1980, generation of digital images, appropriate management of image data as well as image enhancement, visualizing in the focus research and acceleration of processing speed was needed. Since 1990, interpretation of medical images regarding registration, segmentation, classification, or reliable measurement has been developed. In future, integration of medical images processing into physician workflow will be fostered. High-level image processing will become part of diagnosis, intervention, planning, and treatment. Because of this, medical image processing remains an exciting field of research and application in healthcare and in medical education.
He got disconnected. Subreddy garu.
President sir is coming, sir, in half minute. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry for it. Sabka mobile karne mein continue, sir.
Hello, sir. Hello, everybody. I'm sorry. My system has failed. Hello.
Yeah, we are able to hear you. We are able to hear you.
At last, I conclude my speech and I wish the success of this webinar. This is a very, very important and relevant webinar in the national scenario. Thank you all very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Parents Committee. And I must convey my profuse thanks to the Institute of Engineering because of you actually giving us this opportunity of conducting this today's seminar. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Now,
Good.
it is a time of vote of thanks. I invite Professor G. Radhakrishnan, our colleague and Joint Honorary Secretary, Telangana State Committee member. Please, go ahead.
Yeah. Vote of thanks. Respected Chief Guest, Veteran Engineer Narendra Singh Ji, FIE President IEI, Guest of Honor, Chief Pitamaha, Professor Dr. T.S. Kumar, FIE, Chairman EBDP, Keynote Speaker, Padma Shri Dr. S. Kiran Kumar, Bharat Chairman ISRO, and Engineer E. Ramanreddy, FIE Chairman-elect, IEI TSC, and member EBDP, IEI. Mr. Srinivas Jasti, Chairman, IEEE, Hyderabad section, my colleagues, Professor Dr. B. Ramana Nayak, FIE Chairman, IEI TSC, Engineer K. Subbireddy, FIE member, IEI TSC, and Chairman of this event. Dr. FIE Honorary Secretary, elect, IEI TSC, past president, past vice president, council members of IEI, past chairman, past honorary secretaries, he honorary secretary, committee members of IEI TSC, fellow fraternity, residents of media, ladies and gentlemen, good morning to all. It gives me immense pleasure to perform this present duty of proposing vote of thanks. On behalf of Telangana State Center of IEI, on my own behalf, I convey our sincere and profound thanks to the Chief Guest, Veteran Engineer Narendra Singh Ji, Uttarakhand, FIE President, IEI, Guest of Honor, Sri Pitamaha, in EC, Professor Dr. P.S. Kamal, FIE Chairman, ETB, Keynote Speaker, Padma Shri Dr. A.S. Kiran Kumar, former Chairman, ISRO. I also thank the IEEE section for organizing directly with us, Sri Srinivas Jasti, Chairman, IEEE Hyderabad section, and Professor Anita Sira, BC of Technical Committee. I also thank the dignitaries, past presidents of IEI, past chairman of IEI TSC, past honorary secretaries of IEI TSC, council members, committee members, corporate members, and others who made it convenient to attend this event. I also thank Director Technical Headquarters, Kolkata, Dr. Niranjan Gupta for his guidance and support in conduct of the seminar, and all eagerly was giving an opportunity to TSC to conduct this program, which was originally to have been held in August 2021. I also thank engineers, scientists, and doctors who have worked hard to combat COVID-19. I also thank the representatives of media for unstinted support to cover the proceedings of the event. Thank you one and all.
With kind permission and request and respect to the participants, I just want to thank once again Dr. K.M. Rao garu, who has taken a lot of pain to bring these all proceedings and other things. And in short notice, I quickly has responded to support us financially and last, not the least, the staff members who are hard pressed for the 54th Engineers Day. Within a short period, even they have been, I found that boy Mahesh has been working up to night 2:30, 3 o'clock. And I would mention my special thanks to all the staff members, also to the chairman and our Radhakrishna, senior professor of our electronics company member here, and ISN Rajgar for coming here, and GL Rao sir and who are all other participants and I think Brigadier Abram sir is also there. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much once again on behalf of Telangana State Center, on my personal behalf. M. Lakshminarayan garu, Dr. Anita Siva garu, Dr. K. Lakshminarayan garu, Narasimhan garu. There are so many other technical committee members and organizing committee members, Nuli Narasimhan garu, and not recollecting other names. I thank all the, if I have missed that name, sorry sir. My special thanks to you, all of you, on behalf of Telangana State Center, on behalf of our convener Supreti garu, Dr. Ramana Nayak garu, and everybody. Thank you so much. And I hope the next 2 days will be an excellent program. And it will be very useful to many of. So kindly you can tell your friends also. So join. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Please join in national. Next executive session will start after some time and deep break.
Banner posted.
11:30, you can join.
Lakshman garu, we start technical session after 5 minutes. Lakshman garu, you're able to hear?
Now I am able to hear you, but because organizers have muted all the participants, so I could not say anything because it is the organizers prerogative. We can start. Shall we start at what time shall we start? I think both the speakers are available. Dr. Anita Sheila and yourself are available, I am sure.
Yeah, we start. Actually, it's delayed by 10 minutes.
Okay.
I think all the participants are available, and
anybody is going to say something on behalf of the organizers just to start the first session, or just shall I take it and start the first session?
Yeah, please start.
The other thing is the control has to be given for for that for presentation. These things somebody has to manage, no?
Yeah.
For the presentation slides and other things.
Yeah,
what I will do is I will introduce the speaker and request the speaker to
project the slides. Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Yeah. Okay.
So somebody is there to project the slides, I believe. Okay.
I am doing from my laptop.
No, that's okay, but some coordination is required from central, from the organizer's point of view at the desk.
Mahesh.
Sir, చెప్పండి సార్.
ఇప్పుడు లక్ష్మణ్ గారు ఇంట్రొడ్యూస్ చేసిన తర్వాత then I can start and I can share the screen and present from here.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
So, good morning, everybody. It's my proud privilege to be associated with this All India Seminar on Technological Advancements in Healthcare Challenges, a role of medical image processing. With this 2-day, I think just now we had a very good, inaugural session. Dignitaries have already spoken about its importance. So to continue this, let us start the first session. This first session has 2 talks, 2 speakers. Each speaker has to have 50 minutes. This 50 minutes includes everything. I think we need to say, in view of this 10 minutes overshoot from the inaugural session, we may have to see that whether I think both the speakers are, TPC, Technical Program Committee owners. I think because the initial speakers will have a lot of energy, and even audience also will be very much energetic to receive. Anyway, without wasting much time, let us start with the first talk, Healthcare Challenges and Image Processing, by Dr. K.M.M. Rao. Is a former Deputy Director, NRSC, ISRO, Hyderabad. It's a formality to introduce the speaker. Just please bear with me for 5 minutes, right? I'd like to introduce the speaker. Okay. Dr. K.M. Rao received his BE honors and ME in electronics from Birla Institute of Technology and Science, Pilani, in 1970 and 1972. Respectively, and his PhD in image processing from Sri Krishna Devaraya University, Andhra Pradesh, India. Dr. K.M. Rao joined Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, in 1973. He designed and developed black and white and color drum scanner images from first time in India for digitizing and reproducing various types of photographic prints. At Institute of Science, he carried out research in image processing aerial remote sensing, and photo writing. Since 1976, he worked with NRSC in various positions. He was designated as operations director for Indian remote sensing satellites IRS-1C in 1996 and IRS-1D in 1997. He was deputy director data processing area at NRSC till December 2006. As adjunct faculty, BITS Pilani, he was associated with Hyderabad campus. He established and taught the courses digital image processing and remote sensing. He guided students and for their research projects and also supervised PhD students in medical imaging. Dr. K.M. Rao has established elaborate image processing facilities at NRSC Hyderabad for processing IRS satellite data. He has established data processing facilities of IRS in various countries such as USA, Germany, China, Japan, etc., and established a station at Svalbard, Norway, for receiving onboard solid-state recorder data from IRS satellites. He has worked on IRS projects starting from 1 kilometer resolution satellites to 80 centimeters resolution satellites during last about 35 years in ISRO. He has designed and developed number of technologies for image processing and remote sensing applications. He obtained 5 patents for his designs. He has designed and developed software to analyze parametric parameters of optic disc to study glaucoma disease objectively. He developed software to montage fundus images to study retinal diseases. He has developed multimodal image registration and fusion techniques for satellite images and for medical images. He has contributed for improving the quality of radiographic images and designed and developed computer hardware for digital catheterization laboratory indigenously. He got a number of awards for his inventions, namely some of these important are National Academy of Science Award in 1995, a drum scanner digitized bagged the Best Invention Award in 1994, Presidential Award for Meritorious Invention of Color Photo Write System in 1993, Best Invention Award for Color Photo Write System in 1992, Engineer of the Year Award from Institution of Engineers, AP State Center in 1989. Satellite image processing has Best Invention Award in 1989. Additive color viewer won the first prize for the Import Substitution Award in 1980. He is an advisor to a number of companies in India. He has guided a team and designed daylight photo write system to generate photographic prints from a photo roll paper in office environment. He has guided a software team for designing and developing image processing software using wavelets for processing medical images. He is working on the design of hospital on wheels for disaster management for rural healthcare applications. Dr. Rao is a fellow of IETE and fellow of ISNT, life senior member of IEEE, life member of Indian Society of Remote Sensing. He served as a member of Board of Studies in number of universities. He served as a member of Executive Committee of IETE Hyderabad and conducted image processing seminars. Currently is the chairman, Life Members Affinity Group, IEEE Hyderabad section. He has around 150 research publications reports to his credit. He has supervised more than 300 graduate and undergraduate students in their research projects. 6 of his students got PhD from JNTU, Hyderabad and BITS Pilani. He has delivered a number of invited talks in various universities in India and abroad. He has brought out a special issue of International Journal of Applied Earth Observation and Geoinformation on Indian remote sensing satellite, ResourceSat-1, and as a guest editor. He has visited a number of countries such as USA, UK, Canada, Netherlands, Singapore, Dubai, Nepal, etc. He organizes a number of workshops, seminars on image processing, satellite data processing, etc., to benefit the young researchers, young teachers, research scholars, and young scientists of government, private organizations, and various engineering colleges, etc. His areas of interest include satellite data processing, image processing, medical imaging, data mining, and photo writing. With this brief, biodata, I have my own experience with organizing the, seminars with IEI with Dr. K.M. Rao. With this brief introduction, may I request Dr. K.M. Rao to, start presenting his talk. Dr. K.M. Rao. Over to Dr. K.M. Rao.
Thank you, Lakshman Garu. And our association, not only here, IET and IEEE, we conducted a number of seminars and workshops together. So I'll take the screen share. Hope you are able to see the screen.
Yeah, visible.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
My acknowledgements to NRSC ISRO, where I learned a lot of technologies and implemented. I worked not only with space systems and ground systems. Parallelly, I used to work with hospitals, number of hospitals, starting from All India Institute of Medical Sciences to down south government hospital in Kerala, and number of hospitals in Bangalore, Chennai, Hyderabad. Hyderabad, for example, L.V. Prasad Eye Institute, KIMS and NIMS, and so many. Number of my PhD students worked in medical image processing. This talk, some of the work is contributed by them. As Kiran was saying, pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic opened eyes for all of us, and it made everyone to think for survival and also for further going ahead. So when I talk about biomedical image processing techniques play a significant role in today's healthcare due to increased utilization of medical images in clinical investigations and diseases. One thing in emergency during the COVID-19, lot of robots were designed and then implemented using the previous robots. For example, in some of the countries, robots start testing the patient with swab, and especially during the first phase COVID, people are worried to go to the patients of COVID hospitals. So the robots with ultraviolet C energy, they started sanitizing. Then robots started giving the medicines to patients and also to doctors for administering. And robo also start taking the readings of the patients and providing those readings to the doctors, because especially in the first wave, even the doctors were worried to go nearer to the COVID patients frequently. Then this is people coming to the hospital. Robots were screening the people whether they have the temperature and things like that. Then when I come to the image processing and healthcare, first I talk about IDCs. The IDCs, for example, a lot of people in India as well elsewhere suffer from eye diseases. For analyzing the retina, optic disc, and various other portions of the eye, we have the optical axis to the eye. So we use the light source for imaging the eye. So some of the research what we have carried out and still people can carry out in this area, eye care, I present a few of them. For example, here, the eye disease, glaucoma and age-related macular degeneration and diabetic retinopathy. These are deadly diseases, and still a lot of research is going on to overcome such diseases for the patients. When I talk about glaucoma, you have the anterior chamber after the cornea and before the lens. The aqueous humor start oozing and then draining. If there is a problem in this draining of the aqueous humor, there is a pressure onto the optic disc. At the optic disc, all the blood vessels going to the brain, they carry the signals, optical signals of the globe. Up to here is optical, and beyond this is all electrical. So let us see what is the effect of glaucoma. So we have to make these measurements, disc and cup, and rim portion of the optic disc, because this is the way doctors do the analysis of glaucoma. Of course, they do a lot of other things, but this is a primary thing. So we built the software for finding out various measurements of cup and disc, and also the rim area and redness of the eye. With this, doctors and our team made some investigations. One of them, instantly, when the glaucoma patient initially is normal, afterwards it goes like this, and then finally it becomes a cylindrical vision, and lastly they lose the eye. So this is very dangerous thing. The minute somebody come to know that they have the glaucoma, they should quickly run to the hospital and get treated. In the process of research with doctors at L.V. Prasad Eye Institute and our team, what we made observation is ocular hypertension patients need not necessarily have the area of the optic nerve head bigger. In fact, the hypertension patients, they have the lesser optic disc compared to the other people, compared to the open angle glaucoma as well as normal patients. OHC patients, they have the optic nerve head smaller area. So this is what we made, and of course these also results were also published in various other journals at the US. And we did a simple thing for take the retinal images and then do the mosaic. After doing the mosaic, analysis of the retina is easy. And another latest thing, how image processing and other things we use for non-invasive testing. Macular degeneration, how image processing is used. I just give one example. This is a macula. When there is a damage, that means the blood vessels not getting the enough nutrition, they have the problem. Normal vision and patient with macular damage. So what is done is color fundus image of the retina, and after injecting the radio isotope, that is a fluorescein, they take number of shots of the retina, and this is a constant image. With reference to this constant image, the fluorescein keep flowing from first time to the few seconds and later. So they sort of register these images with this, and hence when they register the images, they get the error in the registration. That error is converted into the 3D images to show the convex and concave portions of the damaged portion of the macula. This is how the non-invasively using the image processing, macular damage is examined. And now when I go back to the other latest things, hyperspectral and multispectral imaging, what is being used in the satellite, some of the scientists from NASA, they came up with a procedure, miniaturized hyperspectral imaging and multispectral imaging method. They use the miniature images by impinging the light onto the retina, and the backscattered signal, that reflected signal as well as observed signal of the retina. They make the measurement and then they plot how the optical density is varying for the macula and arteries and optic disc in terms of the wavelength. So in future, what they want to do is by just taking the hyperspectral or multispectral imaging, they can just plot this and then find out quickly the damage, whether the damage is to the macula or optic disc. But of course, they have to use a lot of database that is available previously for these diseases. And this is the latest technique for examining the optic disc, macula, and retina. Other important thing that is coming, till now, the pathology results are being done subjectively by the lab technicians and doctors. Now, the pathology is digitized using the digital microscope and using the machine learning software. The results are obtained objectively, not subjectively, because the worldwide, lot of demand is there for analyzing the pathology results quickly and getting the results objectively. This is one research area. A lot of work is going on in this area. Angiogram is a contrast enhancement radiography. This is a digital image. In the digital image processing, this is just a subtraction of images. This is initial image, and after injecting the radioisotope, they take the images and they subtract to get the block and various blood vessels, arteries conditions. They use this particular thing. And when you use image processing, how by reducing the X-ray dose, you can get the enhancements much better than any other thing. This is the process of image processing, image enhancement of X-rays. If the original is like this, we can do this sort of thing. Of course, we have done this long back in a number of hospitals, but today this is just a commercial product. Now, other point when I talk about localization and navigation, like what we're doing with the SPS and GPS, the aircrafts are able to land in any airport using those instruments. Now, similarly, in the medical, since from the multimodal images, we do the 3D construction, and to see any portion of the human body, this gives doctor to, before going for surgery, he can see the organs, and then he can clearly pinpoint and see this where I'm going to do the surgery. So I just give an example what we have done with one of the hospitals here. We have taken the MRI sequence of a tumor patient, then we constructed the 3D, then we can do the dissection like this on the computer. Then further what we have done, this is a new method what we have done, CT and MRI, multi-modes of MRI, we combine to get a color MRI and CT combination. With this, doctors, they said analysis of these images are much better than compared to black and white. So of course, this again is a publication, and then a lot of software is already available. So in that process, the tumor is extracted. Why the tumor is extracted? And to find out the volume, shape, and then measurements. This is further what is used in the radiation therapy and robotic surgeries. So in the radiation therapy, what they do is they use the CT and find out the tumor volume and tumor shape. After doing that, and this is a radiation system where the shape of the tumor is fed to the input, and then accordingly the beam is shaped to radiate only the required portion, and healthy tissues are not damaged. Then another improvement or development in this radiation is a 4D CT, which has got a time component. Apart from the previous 3D, time component is added. By adding the time component, what is done is, with respiration, the tumor changes, what you can see here. With those, and then with the time component of the 4D CT scan, what they do is they localize the tumor by avoiding the heart and other portions. You can just see heart. Here it is still touching the heart, but here they localize only to the tumor portion. So this is another technique which is available, is advanced technique in the radiation of tumor patients. In the surgical procedures, when you talk about, then we have the keyhole surgery, miniature instruments, and then even the patient can recover faster. So the instruments used are surgical needle driver and suturing and cartridging unit they use for this. So this is going on for now several years. Now from keyhole surgery, instead of doctor holding all this, now robo holds all this and do the surgery. So the doctor is sitting here and the patient is here with the robo. So when doctor start operating the instruments, robo start doing the surgery. I just take so here you can see while doctor is operating, the robotic instruments inside the patient, they do the cutting and suturing and all that. When you talk about future medical devices, I give some of the examples which appeared in IEEE journals. So catching the brainwave signals, as I said, from optical signals at the retina and glaucoma, the optic disc. From optic disc, the signals go to the brain in terms of electrical signals. So when we think and when you do start processing, these signals can be captured using the electrodes on the head, and these electrodes are interfaced to the robo, and whatever we are thinking, robo can start doing those. This is where epilepsy patient, when she is waiting for the surgery, and the doctors are with her, and then when she's seeing the computer screen, and then she starts thinking of catching the ball, whereas taking these signals, robo started catching the ball. So that is one example. Then autonomous hospitals with the Internet of Medical Things. This is a complete one lecture is there by Dr. Professor from Patna. He is going to talk about entire thing, but I just only give briefly about this. Other thing, during the COVID, lot of hospitals abroad, they start using the smartphones and tablets for interfacing the patients remotely, because most of the hospitals were engaged with the COVID patients. Patients at the homes are start getting the consultancy from doctors using these technologies. This came to the limelight, that is electronic health record. If only this could have been there in most of these countries where COVID is affected. So the health record of the patients could have been analyzed using the patients who are having the epidemic. So based on that, government would have got the results quickly, which areas people are affected with COVID and what is the severeness and this thing. Telehealth for helping the rural areas. This is one of the things already implemented by a number of hospitals and ISRO using the GeoSat satellite. Telehealth benefits for rural as well as semi-urban areas. Other thing that is coming up is kiosks where patient registration in the hospitals can be done by giving the information here, and then the doctors can access this information and start doing the remote consultancy or saying other devices are wearable medical devices and sensors for collecting the data. These are mainly used for autonomous hospital. That means less number of nurses and less number of doctors. All the patients in the hospital, they're all connected with wearable gadgets where they monitor the pulses, they monitor the temperature, they monitor the heart rate and all other things. These are all sent to the central processor. When any patient is having the abnormalities, the flag raises and the doctor gets a signal to see such a patient. Not many hospitals in India has got the picture archival and this thing. That means all the systems like CT, MRI and X-ray and plus radiology department, all these, all the patient records, if they're available with the hospital server, when the outpatient is coming, then doctor can access these information, and also the doctor can access the patients at the homes and treat them. In other words, digitizing and archiving the patient records. So this is also when the patient goes to the surgical table, doctor can access the previous history from the databases. When you talk about healthcare challenges, most of this thing, large percentage of our people, almost 70% of our people stay in villages and they don't have the access to the primary healthcare as well as advanced healthcare. This is what I said, 70% of our population is in villages. So for this, some of the suggestions are establishing well-equipped primary healthcare centers in villages and semi-urban areas. And low-cost instrumentation with internet connectivity will help patients in rural areas and semi-urban areas to access sophisticated hospitals in the cities. This is another thing recently has come up for the last few years. Plastination of human body. The German hospital, one of the hospital, what they do is they take uh, the dead bodies, of course, with the willingness, and then they do the plastination and then blow it up to get the entire human body so that for training purpose. And I am saying when we use image processing techniques for healthcare areas, but generally we don't know what is inside, whether you talk about liver or heart or kidneys or whatever. So this database and this software, we can pinpoint and go to that particular organ and see how it is, and our results for just comparing. This is for training purpose. This I saw when I was visiting US, and this is available even online, and some we can purchase this online. This atlas. When you talk about breast cancer, how uh, microwave techniques are used for the breast cancer. So they put the transmitters, and this is the tumor. And why they use this, microwaves penetrate much deeper in the biological tissues than the infrared radiation. So this is a new technique that is coming up. Apart from this, there's a thermal scanning also for the breast cancer. This is again the latest one, which it scans three-dimensional, and this CT, after scanning, it automatically generates a 3D picture of the heart or whatever organ. This, of course, again, few days. And this is another thing with the image processing. This is just an image processing gimmick. What they're saying in future, inside the eye, where non-invasively we can't access, but taking the layer by layer, we can remove the layer by layer and access the portion which is required. This is done at Hamburg University, Germany. So this is my last slide. Lakshman Garu, as you said, I think that
Yeah.
10
You
10 or
have
10 or 15,
compressed some time also.
yeah, 10 or 15 minutes, whatever we lost in inauguration, now I think it can be good. We had done a lot of research with a lot of hospitals, but I thought we just project only some of them. And some of our PhD students, they are also going to give the presentation in their areas. This just gives a bird's eye view of what is happening in image processing, healthcare, and advances in healthcare and image processing, how it is used. So that's it.
Thank you, Dr. K. M. Rao garu. Just to any Any questions can be taken? Chat, let me see the chat box. Any queries? No, I'm not finding any questions from participants. Is there a provision for the participants to ask questions by, unmuting their mics? Hello?
Mahesh, I think
Mahesh.
participants can't unmute, sir, but they need to ask the questions in chat.
Yeah, I think we should have announced that participants, please, even the end of the second lecture, we can take up the questions for both the talks. Please post your questions in the chat box. Just to sum up, Dr. K.M. Rao has delivered an excellent lecture, excellent talk on healthcare challenges and image processing. He has started with brief anatomy of eye and measurements of optical things and eye care, and particularly emphasized on glaucoma. He also explained about MRI, CT slices and the combinations of these giving the good results, and radiation therapy and beam shaping. Actually, the radiation therapy, beam shaping, particularly in tumors, doctors, they do a lot of simulation work for this. Exactly, put the energy only at the tumor, not the illuminate other side. This is a very, very important requirement. And robotic surgery. And Dr. Rao has also brought out the future medical devices, like catching brain waves in a net. Right, Internet of medical things, electronic health record, telehealth and telemedicine, sensors, and wearable technology. Healthcare challenges such as microwave imaging for early diagnosis of breast cancer. Particularly this one, we all read about the skin effect. Means lower frequency waves will penetrate a bit deeper. High frequency will be only on the surface. So that concept will be very useful. Thank you, Dr. K.M. Rao Garu. Then I think we will proceed to the second one. Second talk by Dr. K. Anita Sheila, Professor and Head, Department of ECE, JNTU Hyderabad, on neural networks and deep learning networks for healthcare. So before asking, I would like to give a small or brief biodata provided by the organizers. Dr. K. Anita Sheila, Professor and Head, EC Department, JNTH College of Engineering, JNTH Hyderabad, has obtained her BTech in Electronics and Communication Engineering from REC Warangal. Present it is NIT, and MTech from College of Engineering, Usmania University, and PhD from JNT University. She is at present serving as Head of ECE Department and Board of Studies Chairperson, ECE, for JNTH College of Engineering, and also has served as a coordinator of examination branch, JNTH, additional controller of examinations, officer in charge of examinations, JNTU College of Engineering, Hyderabad, coordinator, Industry Institute Interaction Cell, coordinator for TechWeep 3, a World Bank funding project, and coordinator, Academic Audit Cell, JNTU H, Hyderabad. She has filed 2 patents in the field of battery management system and speech-enabled interactive voice system. She has guided 9 research scholars for their PhDs and around 150 MTech projects and around 60 BTech project batches, and few more are under progress. Of course, as an academician, this is a continuous work, right? She has published more than 100 papers in journals and conferences, and also she has published 2 books on probability and stochastic process, and few more ebooks published by Springer. She is involved in research projects funded by ISRO, UGC, Texas Instruments, AICTE, TechWeep in the field of automatic speech recognition, automatic emotion recognition and video, IVSR, for a worth of about 90 lakhs. She is involved in curriculum development activities for various universities and autonomous colleges in India. Dr. Anita Sheila is a reviewer for the Journal of Complex and Intelligent Systems, a peer-reviewed open access journal published under the Springer Open Brand and Journal, Open Brand and Journal, Springer Plus, peer-reviewed open access journals published under the Springer Nature. Also, she is the chair, educational activities, Skill Connect, IEEE Hyderabad section, and branch counselor, IEEE student branch, JNTU, College of Engineering, Hyderabad. She is a PhD adjudicator for various universities like University of Kerala, Thiruvananthapuram, Usmania University, Central University, Hyderabad, Sri Satya Sai Institute of Higher Learning, Acharya Nagarjuna University, Guntur, to name a few. She has conducted around 30 workshops, refresher courses, contests, MUNs, and training programs for the benefit of faculty, research scholars, and students. She has visited places like Austria, Bangkok, Singapore for presenting papers and keynote speaker. She is a senior member of IEEE, fellow of IETE, fellow of Institute of Engineers, life member of ISRS and ISTE. Dr. Anita Sheila is instrumental in preparing in module content of IoT Online Skill Connect program consisting of 3 phases: basic IoT, projects on IoT, smart IoT for the benefit of students and industry personnel working in this area. She is involved in translating lesson plans in Telugu language for Try Engineering website powered by IEEE for the benefit of rural students. Dr. Anita Sheila is a technical committee chair for the All India seminar in the present 2-day work. She is a vice chair, right? She is a technical committee member for All India seminar on cyber security and image processing on the occasion of this co-eternal celebrations of IEI India in August 2020. And she has taught number of subjects: probability theory and stochastic process, analog communications, digital communications, signals and systems, digital signal processing, system design aspects in IoT, EDC, EC, and neural networks. Subjects she taught in the PG level, she taught speech processing, neural networks, ADSP, biomedical signal processing, random process and time series analysis, DSP processor and architecture, and advanced DSP transform techniques. I think with this brief biodata, may I request Dr. K. Anita Sheila to go ahead with her presentation. Dr. Anita Sheila, over to you.
Thank you very much for the introduction. I believe I am audible, sir. Am I audible?
Please.
Yeah, you are audible.
Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Just trying to see whether even my screen is visible, sir.
It's visible.
And
it's visible, very clear, very clear. Please go ahead.
It's very clear.
Thank you. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Actually, after listening to Dr. K.M. Raugar's session, wherein he has given us a broad perspective of the various areas in which we can intervene as technocrats. Me as academician, I thought of having a deeper understanding of the various terminologies nowadays, because the state of art now is AI, machine learning. So I'll try to give a brief, my own perspective of the deep learning and neural network aspects and their importance in terms of the healthcare or any other applications for that matter. So to start with, what we talk about, what is a neural network basically? In my perspective, if I talk about, I always talk in terms of how a biological brain, or not even a human brain, the brain of a bat, if I take, it is supposed to be not very much intelligent, but that is doing better compared to the regular computers as far as pattern recognition is concerned. How it is possible for the brain to do such sort of efficient activities, though the building block of the brain happened to be the neuron, And this neuron, the transition time will be in terms of tens of milliseconds. But the building block of your computer that we are talking about is 1/10 of a nanosecond. Quite natural. The building block of the computer is going to be multifold faster compared to the building block of the brain. Then also, brain has got very good efficiency in terms of the pattern recognition. Particularly, the application that I am talking about is the pattern recognition, because as already pointed out by previous speakers, pattern recognition is the specific area of image processing on which we are concentrating on as far as healthcare is concerned. Like if I want to identify some tumor in or some fundus material in the eye, this identification of a particular specific item is nothing but called the pattern recognition, or particular shape identification is what we call it as pattern recognition. And this is very much comfortably done using the regular human brain or even the living organism, but that is not possible with the regular computers. The reason why, what is the reason? Though the building block of computer is multifold faster compared to the brain of or regular computer, multifold faster than regular brain, how come it is having that powerful capability? Main reason behind that are two aspects. One is the brain has got multiple interconnections, wherein multiple interconnections in the sense multiple processings happen at various places, and all these processings are interconnected. This is what we call it, and these interconnects, we call them as the weights, and the information is stored in the form of weights. This, and another important thing, first is the massive parallelism of neurons, where processing will be done at each and every place of the neuron, and there will be interconnection among the neurons. And second important aspect is learning from experience. This particular aspect of learning from experience is the one which is not the regular phenomena of a computer. These are the two things which made the biological neural network more powerful compared to the regular computer, though its building block happened to be very fast. One example, always I start with this example of sonar of a bat taken from Simon Hecken. What he says is, you see, the bat, the principle on which the bat works is based on sonar. All of us know it can't see, it will transmit the sound wave. Depending on the reflected sound, it will try to identify the relative velocity as well as size of the prey, as well as various features, and also its exact location in terms of the azimuth and elevation of the target. Perfectly it picks. There is not even 0.001 failure rate is going to be there as far as the bat picking the prey. But this success rate will envy a radar or a sonar engineer. How this bat could do that with that precision? Imagine the size of the brain of the bat is going to be very small. Within that small brain, it could do so much amount of processing, and with very less error rate, it could identify the target along with its, by identifying its features and also its velocity. How it could do is, the reason is this. One is the learning from experience, other one is the massive interconnection. We have millions of neurons and trillions of interconnects among them as far as the brain is concerned. So with this basic understanding, what people have thought is, why can't we build the same sort of biological neural network, which we call it as now the artificial neural network. So the preface or the basis for us to build artificial neural networks is inspired from the brain architecture. And once you learn, then we start generalizing. What do you mean by generalization? Generalization refers to giving some reasonable outputs even for the inputs which were not encountered previously. This is not possible with the regular computer. Regular computer, once we give a set of inputs, for that inputs which already we have given, for that it will try to give the corresponding correct answers. The volume of inputs can be large also, computer doesn't bother. But if the input is modified version, then getting the reasonable output is not that easy as far as regular computer is concerned, because it is not trained on the principle of learning. It is trained on the principle of a regular structured format wherein you give if and else conditions or while and so conditions. But once if I start training my system in terms of some learning algorithms, there is every chance that the system will start learning so that it gets generalized. This generalization phenomena is the very important characteristic of the brain, which is not available as far as conventional computers are concerned. Now comes your artificial neural network, where we try to make the system neural network, first build the artificial neural network and then make it learn. Once it starts learning from experience, there is every chance that it will try to move for generalization, so that in future a modified version of the input patterns are given to the system. Also, the network will be in a position to get trained. So if this is the objective of our total neural network building, artificial neural network is built so that it will learn various objects, and in future the same object or a modified version of the object comes in, it will be in a position to recognize. This is the objective, right? Now comes how to do that, how to build such sort of neural network and how to train them. So how to build such sort of neural network, if I talk about, first we should understand the building block. But to understand the building block, quite natural, we again look back to nature, where whenever any research or any invention, the motivation again comes from nature. Same way here also, the artificial neural network building, motivation again comes from the brain, as already I told you, or the biological system. And we have this, we are the basic nervous system of what you call the biological system. If I talk about, we are going to have the stimulus and we have some receptors, and these stimulus is the input. Let us suppose it is the eye. The stimulus comes and this image that is stabilized by rotating eye rotations, this will be sent to the biological brain, and based on these receptors, we are going to have some effectors. Receptors are the input signals, effectors are the output signals, and based on that, you'll get the response. So in between, there is something called the neural network. This receptor and effectors are nothing but the input. Like once if I talk about the eye is the receptor. Based on the eye, based on what you see, let us suppose you have seen a snake, you will come out from that place. So your receptor happened to be the eye, and that eye will send that information to the brain, and brain in turn will do the processing. It is this neural network, biological neural network of the brain, which will do the processing of the signal that is sent by the eye and try to understand that a snake is there near and send that information to your effector. Here effector definitely is going to be your legs, wherein the legs will get the information to move away from the snake. So effector and receptors are only the sensors or the actuators, but the main intelligence is going to be in your biological neural brain. How to build this? This is nothing but your sensors. Receptors are nothing but the sensors. Effectors are nothing but the actuators. As far as electrical equivalent is concerned, if I try to get the electrical equivalent of the total biological system, receptors, sensors, effectors are nothing but the actuators. Now comes what is the electrical equivalent of this biological neural network is nothing but your artificial neural network. How to build this artificial neural network? This is what is the biological neural network, wherein you have n number of neurons. All neurons may not be of same categorization. You can see here, brain is made up of neurons represented in different shapes. Some are circles, some of them are in terms of dots, some of them are in terms of triangles. Like this, they are trying to represent all the different regions with different shaped neurons to tell us that each neuron may not have the same characteristics as the other neurons. Let us suppose you talk about this particular region, this visual cortex area, 17, 18, and 19. All this 17, 18, and 19 region corresponds to the visual cortex. Visual cortex in the sense, the eye that I was talking about, that information will, whatever your eyes have seen, that information will be ported onto this region. And that information is linked with all the neurons in this region, and these neurons are getting interconnected. Like this, various regions of the brain, you see the areas 41 and 42. 41 and 42 corresponds to auditory cortex. That means ear. If you hear a big sound, automatically your hands will go and touch, try to close your ears. So here the receptor is going to be your ears, and the actuators are going to be your hands. Like this, all this information is going to be processed in this brain, which is made up of various number of neurons. And how these neurons, what should be the electrical equivalent of these neurons? If you think about, various people have come up with different types of neuron building. Very beginning is what you call it as the McCulloch and Pitts neuron. And this is how the biological, this is what a neuron is, and this neuron is getting connected to n number of other neurons, and these n number of other neurons are getting connected to this neuron using the dendrites, and the total amount of input to this neuron is nothing but the weighted sum of all the inputs from all other neurons, and that input will be given out to the remaining other neurons using the axon. Same concept, once understood, what we understand is each neuron is getting large number of inputs from n number of neurons with the weighted sum, and it is going to give the information out to other neurons. So now we got the idea, we got the logic. So why can't we build our own artificial neuron first? Because neuron is the building block. Once we know how to build a neuron, now we can start thinking about building the neural network. So this is how the neuron has been built, wherein it is nothing but summer, which sums up all the weighted inputs. So n number of inputs are going to be there. Weighted inputs it is going to take. And the output of this may not be given as it is to the other neurons, because there will be some amount of modification happening over this axon. That modification of the weighted sum is done by some activation function that you call it as threshold function or the activation function. So understood that finally your neuron goes like this, wherein this totally is the electrical equivalent of your biological neuron, which takes a number of inputs x1 to xm, gives the output of each and every neuron to the neuron in question with weighted inputs. followed by this weighted value will be passing through something called activation function to get your output. This activation function can be linear or non-linear activation function. Based on that, your output can be a linear combination of input or a non-linear combination of the input. If this activation function happened to be a non-linear equation, then your output yk is going to be a non-linear combination of the inputs. Otherwise, it is going to be linear combination. This is how you could build a non-linear neuron or a linear neuron as far as electrical equivalent is concerned. Once you understood how to build a neuron, now comes how to build a neural network. So once if I talk about the neural network, these are the various types of activations. If this is one way of taking the activation function, again, nonlinear equation. This is signum function, a nonlinear equation. Like this, you have different types of neurons or activation functions. One way of is deterministic. Output is deterministic in terms of input. That type of activation or neurons, we call it as deterministic neurons. You can have even stochastic neuron models. Stochastic neuron models where the output of the neuron that I was talking about here, the output of this neuron is deterministic. Deterministic in the sense it is a combination of inputs and the net value. But here, once if I talk about the stochastic model of the neuron, the output may be probabilistic. If the output is probabilistic with respect to input, then you can call it as a stochastic neuron where output cannot be conformly told with 100% probability, right? So once understood how the neuron is, now how to build the neuron, you can interconnect those neurons like this. And as I already told, there are n number of multiple neurons and trillions of interconnects. You can interconnect them like this. The way in which you interconnect, based on that, you can have different types of neural networks. One is the single layer, multi-layer, or feedback neural networks and feed-forward neural networks. Okay, once structure is finalized, then comes what are the different ways in which this is one way of connecting, interconnection. This you call it as single layer, this you call it as multi-layer. This is what we call it as recurrent, where the output of the neuron is fed back to itself. This is what you call it as feedback neural networks. Fine. Once done that, once the structure is formed, it is as good as a newborn baby where the brain is formed. Neurons are all there. They got interconnected, but newborn baby didn't get learned anything. It has just fixed the architecture. That's all. Now, what is that we need to do? We need to train that neural network. For training the neural network, we have different ways of training the network. One is called the supervised way of learning, other one is unsupervised, and the third one is reinforcement learning. What is the basic difference between all the three is, in supervised learning, we try to give the patterns to the network and we tell beforehand that this particular pattern belongs to this particular class. Accordingly, it will start learning, okay, this objects means this particular, if I see a round one, mostly it is like a ball, or like this. We try to make the system understand like what we train with, as if we are training like with a teacher. But in unsupervised learning, what happens is it has to learn. There is no target fixed. It has to learn based on some predefined knowledge. Like let us suppose if I ask in a class, you divide into two groups. Group one will have boys, group two will have girls. That means already I have given a target. So based on that, they will divide into two batches. That is what I call it as supervised learning. Unsupervised learning is I'll ask the students, you divide among yourself into two groups. I didn't tell anything. I didn't give any target. I just want you people to divide into 2 groups. Then what they'll do, based on some similarity criteria, like all these are my friends, or all these are hostlers, or all these are known to me, like this, some similarity criteria they themselves will arrive at and divide among themselves into 2 groups. No target was fixed, like you should be a male, or you should be a female, or you should be a topper. If people who have more than 70% marks, one class, below 71 class, such sort of targets, if I fix, then it is supervised learning. But unsupervised learning, you just define that I want n number of classes. Accordingly, some similarity or dissimilarity criteria they take into consideration and then group them themselves is what you call it as unsupervised learning. These two very simple to understand. There is something else sort of learning that you call it as reinforcement learning, particularly used now with autonomous vehicles. Wherever we have analog sort of, let us suppose autonomous vehicle means the steering need to be automatically changed by the machine, not the human. Once we are moving the steering, we don't move it in steps. It is a continuous movement, and depending on our experience, we try to move it to the right and left by some delta x amount, and depending on the environment situation, depending on what is happening in front of me, I try to move to the right by some amount and left by some amount, and accordingly I try to run the vehicle. But same thing should happen even for the machine. There in autonomous vehicles, we can't go for supervised or unsupervised learning, which is a discrete output, is going to be discrete in nature. But here the output, if it is not discrete in nature, then you have to go for something called reinforcement learning, where target is not predefined, or here the target, we need to learn with a critic. Critic never gives you the right answer. Critic always gives you either a punishment or a reward. Based on the punishment or reward, you try to take the next step. If it is a reward, you try to take the step in the positive direction. If it is a punishment, you take the step in the opposite direction. Accordingly, you start moving continuously front and forth, so that the error becomes less. This is what is called reinforcement learning, very important area of research, particularly now in the field of autonomous vehicles, or even for the what you call any other applications like any target, discrete, non-discrete target applications you can talk about as far as reinforcement learning is concerned. So this is block diagram wise representation of the same thing. Here you see in reinforcement learning, you take the information from environment. Through the critic, your learning system will learn and then gives back to the environment. And based on the information from environment, critic will give you a primary reinforcement signal. This critic primary reinforcement signal will be given again back to the learning system in terms of reward or punishment. So now understood how to go for supervised and unsupervised. Now you are in a position to build a system, because your network, what your neural network is doing, your neural network now is going to build a system which could divide the data into classes, whether it is supervised. If it is a supervised learning, it is dividing your input data into classes. Classes in the sense, all the people who belong to all faces which belong to the same person will be identified as a particular class. That, if I talk it in terms of the regular phenomena, you are going to extract some features, and these features are the one which are going to be given to the neural network. And this neural network in turn is going to do the classification for you. If those classes happen to be linearly separable like this, then it is very simple for you to build a neural network wherein these weights are nothing but the weights of the network. This x is the input, wx plus the extra constant term. So building a simple equation, finally getting the weights using the LMS algorithm is a very simple task if the classes happen to be linearly separable like this, where all these black dots belong to one class and circles belong to one class. But real world scenario, never you come across such sort of scenarios. You will always come across this sort of scenario. See this? Green dots belong to one class, blue dots belong to one class. Can you expect a line or n number of lines like this, which can separate out this green and blue dots? No. Single lines can't separate. It is the line is the linear equation. You need a non-linear equation like a circle to separate out the classes. So to deal with such sort of non-linear formations, we need to go for higher. We need to first build a non-linear neuron, which already I have discussed. And these non-linear neurons in combination, in multi-layers, will solve this non-linear problem. And real world is always non-linear in nature. Because even if you take faces, face recognition, almost all the faces, characteristics almost look same. 2 eyes, 1 nose, and globally all the characteristics are same. At this place, even I can give you an example, like if we see Chinese faces, we feel that almost all the faces are look alike. Even for them, South Indian faces almost look alike, but globally they are same, but locally their features are different. These globally, they may look alike. That means the features are very much close to each other, but you should be in a position to separate out such features, that unique features of that Chinese face, which make that person different from others. That feature extraction need to be done by the concerned image processing. If it is image recognition, image processing engineer. If it is speech recognition, the speech processing engineer. If it is biomedical applications, then it is the concerned biomedical engineer who need to extract out those unique features in that particular pattern and need to be given to the neural networks. This is what, this is as far as neural networks is concerned. But once, if I now, yeah, this is the again same representation in the form of, this is one, blue is one class, gray is one class, very easy to divide. You'll get a good recognition accuracy. This is the mean square error, which initially was a high, it becomes 0 almost within less number of epochs. If it is coming closure and closure, then the number of epochs goes on increasing and MSE is not becoming 0. Same is the case here. So you need to go for more number of layers. Once you go for multi-layer network, quite natural that you can separate out the classes. But only problem with the regular neural networks is the features are need to be extracted by the concerned scientist, image processing or the speech processing or the biomedical, and those features are the one which are to be given as input to this neural network, right? But now coming to the deep network, deep neural networks, what happens is that feature extraction concept this is what in regular machine learning, you have the label data, which will be given to the machine learning algorithms. But once if I go for deep learning, this is machine learning where I have the data. It is the concerned engineer who will extract the features And these features are the one which are given to the classifier. But in deep learning, what happens is this feature extraction also will be done by the network itself. Feature extraction plus classification. Put together, you call it as deep convolution neural networks. That is the basic difference between artificial neural networks and deep convolution neural networks. Wherein deep convolution neural network, the convolution layer or the convolution network will try to extract those unique features. So the totally this scientist has been, or this corresponding engineer has been replaced by the network itself, and network will take care of the feature extraction as well as the classification. So comes the architecture like this, wherein these are the convolution layers, and these convolution layers are now given finally to this fully connected layer. It is this fully connected layer which is your neural network. Neural network is the one of the part of your total deep learning convolution network. Our artificial neural network is now became the fully connected layer network, which is nothing but the part of your total deep convolution neural network. How this convolution neural network could extract the features? Again, as already I told you, what happens, what generally we try to extract the features. Feature extraction is nothing but passing the signal through various, this is your input. You try to pass it through various sort of filters. One example that I can tell you here is, when we were studying ABCD letters, we used to study them in a gross manner, like A separately, B separately, like this. We used to learn letters A to Z. But now what we understand is there are some n number of features which are unique for all these letters A to Z. If I extract those features and make the student or the baby understand those features, like half circle, full circle, slanted line, horizontal line, vertical line, like this, there are some features which if I learn, all your letters A to Z are nothing but combination of these features only. Those features are the one with how I extracted those features by passing these letters through various filters. Filter in the sense, half circle is a filtered version of a letter A. Full circle is a filtered version of your letter O. Like this, you will be passing these letters or these images through various sort of filters, and only problem is what should be the filter coefficients. You use LMS algorithm to identify the filter coefficients, and once the filters are being designed, now start passing your letters through those filters. You can extract those unique features. Once unique features are learned by the baby, the combination of these unique features are nothing but here letters. So what is happening here in convolution neural network is it is trying to extract those unique features of the image in the form of filters, and this convolution is not a single convolution. There will be n number of convolution layer. Each convolution layer acts as one filter. If I have n number of convolution layers, there will be n number of filters. So maybe filter 1 may be taking out low frequencies of the image. Filter 2 may take out high frequency, or you can even call it as subband coding. Subband coding in the sense the total image is divided into n number of bands, and each band is taken care by each and every filter. Like this, if I separate out or extract out the needed cream from the image, that one will be done by your convolution layer. Once done with the convolution layer, I give an example of how it goes like. I don't think I have time for that. So this is how we do the convolution. Once we are done with the convolution, what happens is, repeat. We are going to repeat it for each and every convolution layer. You are going to have, if I have n number of convolution layers, then I are going to have n number of images with each and every layer. This you call it as the feature map. Those are nothing but your features. But once I have one image and 10 convolution layers, one image multiplied with one, layer 2, like layer 10, it happens to be, it becomes like 10 images. One image, I am going to get 10 feature maps. So to decrease the size of the total information, we go for the next thing that, this is the example. This is previously for gray level image. For RGB also you can apply parallelly, R separate, G separate and B separate. So each and every convolution will be applied on all the 3 layers separately. 1, 2, 3. This is how it works. Once I get the convolution layer, then I give it to the max pooling. Max pooling, why I am going to give it to the max pooling is, what do you mean by max pooling? I'll tell you. Let us suppose I have an image of this sort. Max pooling means the pixels which are close to each other. I take a 3x3 window. In that 3x3 window, whichever pixel has got the maximum value, I replace all the 3x3 window with a single pixel, and that pixel value is going to be maximum among all the pixels. Because of which, what happens? The size of the image will come down. This is as good as subsampling. Max pooling is nothing but subsampling or downsampling. Downsampling helps you. Downsampling definitely will result in what you call aliasing. But since you have divided the image into, passed it through n number of filters, what happened is, the amount of, there is going to be lot of redundancy in the image. One image has been converted into 10 images. So there is every chance of redundancy happening in the image. Once there is redundancy, subsampling will not result in much of error. So next block that people will do as far as after convolution is what you call it as max pooling. Now, after convolution and max pooling, you are going to get the same 10 images, but each image size previously, which was of maybe 256 by 256, now it may come down to 128 by 128 or 64 by 64 images, 10 numbers. Again, you can apply convolution and max pooling on this filtered image. Like this, if I go on doing that, I'll be arriving. Initially, I'll be getting the global features. If I go on doing the convolution and max pooling continuously, I can extract even the local features. I am localizing the data, right? This, after doing that local feature extraction or everything, then I give it to my regular fully connected neural network, because this particular part up to max pooling before flattening, this is the part of the concerned scientists, which the network itself is doing now. That will be given to the fully connected layer. Again, the same, it is the same story. All of us know how a fully connected layer will help in classifying the input data. So previously, this CAT information, we used to give it to the image processing engineer, and this image processing engineer will try to extract out the unique features like LBP features, linear binary patterns, or even the discrete Fourier transforms, DWTs. Like this, they used to extract the features and give it to us, so that we as neural network experts will try to train my fully connected neural network. But now the thing is, this has been given to the convolution layer and the max pooling layer, which has replaced our scientists. This is the max pooling idea, where, as already told, 3 by 3 is replaced by, previous to this, all these 3 by 3 is replaced by only single value. You see here 0, 1, -2, -1 is replaced with 1. After that, the neural network can take only vectors, not matrix. So we do the flattening and give it to the fully connected layer. This is how the network goes. This is one of the application we have done for emotion recognition, as already told by Lakshminarayan Garu. I have done one project sponsored by UGC, wherein we have applied for emotion recognition, and this is the phase, neutral phase. Like this, we have taken various the same phases with different expressions, and the features need to be extracted from this particular phase, isn't it? Features are extracted from this phase, and those features are given to the neural network, and we have tried. That is one way of doing, like wherein we have extracted our own features from the phase. Another way of doing is giving the same images directly to the CNN. These are the results of our CNN prediction, and the recognition accuracy. It will extract the features and then classify it into 6 classes. You can see here, this is positive with 2% and neutral with almost like 90% and negative with 0.07%. This is the recognition with which we got the results. Similarly, he is my scholar, worked on the same thing. And his expression, if you see, positive 20%, neutral 40%, and negative 10%, 49%, and was his face recognition accuracy. If you see, the recognition differs, right? Another project which we were talking about is sign language recognition for deaf and dumb. For deaf, to convert the Indian sign language, the video of the sign language is need to be converted into the speech, and the speech need to be converted back into text. We are in the process of doing it, wherein we are going to use not the regular camera, we are going to use the depth camera also. That means your color information as well as the depth information. You can see here, the depth information also we could get. These are the pixel values. This is the third line, is what is the depth information. Based on the depth information, we can identify the signs better compared to your regular 2-dimensional image. That is what is the conclusion that we are drawing. This work is still in the process, wherein finally the idea is, if we need to create a system in such a manner that if this deaf person want to talk to a
4
doctor,
minutes time.
Yes, if a deaf person would like to interact with a doctor, quite natural, the person may not be interested to disclose his information in front of a third person who knows the sign language. So that we are planning to build in a system in such a manner that the person can directly go and give talk to the doctor in terms of the signs, and that sign need to be converted into speech for the doctor, and the speech, the doctor will, once this doctor speaks out, that need to be converted back into sign so that the patient, the deaf patient, can understand. We are doing, we are in the process of doing this project, and I have a major research project under sponsored by UGC for this. And there is another third project on which we are working. This is text extraction from the case files. Myself and Dr. KM Rao Garu, we are doing it for KIMS. The original case file, if you see, even we can't, is it visible? I don't know. Is the case file visible, sir?
Case file is not visible, just only text extraction from case files. That's all, the text.
Case file is not visible.
Not visible, not visible.
I think if I go for hyperlink, it may not come out. Actually, we have the case file text extracted from the case file also. And I'm not sure whether, again, I need to share. I have time.
Yeah, just
Anyway,
1
time
minute.
is not there, but rest is only lunch will be curtailed. 1 to 2 will become 1:15 to 2.
Madam, you show that it's very interesting, no?
Yes, sir. I'll try to
Yeah,
see.
Since both chair and because no problem. If it is when it is worth seeing, it is please show that.
I think I need to come out of this and then share it again. Now is it visible, sir?
Yeah, it's visible.
Yes.
This is one of the challenge that we are giving to the participants. Can you read something out of it? I request the participants to just note down whatever you have understood from this. It is even challenge for us as humans. As initially I was telling, human brain is very powerful. We could recognize the patterns very easily compared to the regular computer and all. But this is the problem that has been given by Kim's doctor to us. And we have worked on this for extracting the characters using again the same concept of CNN. We have trained such sort of case files to our system, and the raw data that we got from these case files, you can note down whatever you understand from this, so
Just
that I'll show you the raw data, raw text data that the machine algorithm, AI algorithm that we have run. We got the results, and I'm just trying to show. Is it visible?
No, not
the raw
yet.
Text.
Not yet, not yet.
I believe now it is visible.
Yeah. Yes, now it is visible.
This is how we could extract the data. It was doing a lot of errors. Few of them, my system is doing better compared to my eyes. That initially it is KIMS and KIMS Hospital. The way they have scanned and gave the information also, it is not in proper format. But this is how we could extract the letters out. All this is because of the same CNN machine learning algorithms, wherein we are not going to train all the letters and the system will not be mugging up the information. It will try to learn from experience, or all case files, it will try to train, we try to train it so that it will try to learn from experience, and language model and the text models are created for this. And finally, this is how we got the information. Now we are talking to doctors and try to get the original, what exactly that case file mean, so that we can compare that with the extracted information and try to calculate what is the word error rate. There is a lot more that we need to do as far as improvisation is concerned, add grammar also to this. But this is another work on which we have started working some 3-4 months back. We have started this work. So these are the various applications wherein we as technocrats can help doctors, and both put together, I believe we can help the patients to have more comfort compared to the previous scenarios. This, I believe, I'm done with. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Anita Shilagaru. I think it is time to conclude. We
Yes.
had the successful, glorious first session of the 2 talks. We have actually, can I share the screen? Okay.
Mahesh, display that.
KM Rao sir.
Yeah, Mahesh. Yeah, the last piece
I
of
can,
work.
if I am allowed to share, I am displaying.
Mahesh. Yeah.
Sir, already I have given, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Screen sharing each other?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you able to see my screen?
No, not it. We're only seeing your name there.
No, sir. Please click the share screen button, sir.
Okay, share screen button.
Your Zoom.
Yeah.
Now, wait.
Now able to see?
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yeah, you should come to the center. No.
It has gone. No, it is not coming to the center. Can you display?
No. Yeah, you're doing the wrong button, not the center button. You click the
third button, sir.
No, not that. No.
Actually, I downloaded. I am clicking my this thing.
No. What you're doing is correct, but not the middle button. What you're doing, display it again. Yeah, bring
is
it
it visible? No, it is not. It is not coming to middle. It is there itself. It is because it is part of the downloaded file.
Yeah. Mahesh.
JPG file. Mahesh, can you display?
Mahesh.
Okay, sir. I will share.
Yeah.
Please display. Not you take control and display this.
Lakshmana Garu, one point I just want to make Anita's last piece of work.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, last piece of work we started with Kim's doctors. We also have some selfishness in that normally when doctors prescribe and write,
Yes.
Generally there is a slogan, you have to go to medical shop to understand the prescription. So, not taking as a serious comment, but what we thought is this software we can completely, after development, we can leave it in the mobile app. So especially the records what we get from hospitals, they get converted into written, I mean, typed matter, and then it will be easy for all of us. But I think this is some more months we have to go. But initial results, they're good.
Yeah, it is very tough. It appears like a chest pain and forearm pain, something like that. It is very difficult to understand. Even this thing, whatever she has displayed. Okay, sir. For concluding, on behalf of the organizers of the technical program committee and on my own behalf, we thank Dr. KMM Rao Garu for his excellent talk on healthcare challenges and image processing. Right, and next. Dr. K. Anita Sheila, we thank Dr. K. Anita Sheila. Can you change the, yeah. Dr. Anita Sheila's picture. Hello? Yeah. Dr. Anita Sheila's. Again, on behalf of the organizers and on my own behalf, we thank Dr. K. Anita Sheila for her excellent talk on neural networks and deep learning networks for healthcare. Teacher is a teacher from the beginning. Though I know her, I know both the speakers, but these are excellent works, and it's a rare opportunity for us to listen to them. And I'm sure these participants got benefited. And the advantage is you can sit anywhere and you can, like me, chair the session or listen. But the thing we are missing is if we are, face to face, definitely some questions will be asked, some questions can be posted. So since there are no questions are posted, I thank all the participants and the dignitaries, invitees who are there, who are attending the session. I thank everybody and thank you all once again. Thank you.
Yeah, one point, I contacted already the next speakers, Professor Udit and Professor Sandhya, they're ready. So we have the break. I think we'll start the session at 2 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
2 o'clock.
I think good time control is there. We have not overcast. We are just on time.
Yes.
Yeah, I've been. These virtual mementos. I want to thank IEEE student activities section. They're doing all this. In fact, some of these virtual mementos and then some of the posters, they're very helpful. So I thought I'll just acknowledge here.
Good, sir. Thank you.
Mahesh,
thanks, and Anita Sheila garu.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your sharing your sessions.
Yeah, the talk is very good. Excellent.
Particularly emotion recognition was very good. We are using suppose it is. I think this is a very good application. Emotion recognition. There are a lot of work to be done, and your stochastic model of the neuron and various learning methods, particularly this unsupervised reinforcement learning, particularly for unmanned systems and all these things. That is a really good work, I think, to continue. I suggest this you take it. Of course, this is only a beginning where we are sharing with the other professionals. Let us take it forward for the forward further. I think IEEE is also coming up with a center of expertise. Let us see. Hopefully, it is going to be and it will be known very soon. We are going to have that.
Okay.
So with this, we conclude the first session, and hope the next session and today and tomorrow will be very useful to the participants. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Maybe Mahesh
Sir, I am taking you.
Mahesh can display the memento, virtual memento.
Oh.
Mahesh,
I thought that this itself. Yeah. I think that is a part of the memento displacement will be there. Mahesh, please display the memento to both the speakers.
Mine is over. I'm only giving the practice to him because Afternoon, we have the
outside speakers.
speaker from
Morning, we are part
Actually,
of the
అవి సెషన్ చైర్ కి ఇస్తే ఈజీగా డిస్ప్లే చేయొచ్చు సార్. అది సెషన్ చైర్ కంట్రోల్ కి ఇచ్చేసేస్తే
నేను అందుకని మీకు పంపించాను అందుకని. బట్
Mahesh, are you there? We are trying to see sort of a demonstration laga.
Next session speakers I will share.
Why it is coming out? Mementos. Click on the mementos.
See, first is a folder, Mahesh.
Okay.
There's a folder mementos. The second one. I think his computer is
slow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is going round and round.
Yeah, it is slow. So that computer we have to send it to Moon or Mars. But at least he can send it to the chair so that I want to see in the afternoon chairperson if he
let me try once more. Let me try once more.
Okay.
Okay.
This stop other screen, continue, right? Share. Are you able to see now?
Yeah. Adi center is center key. Yes. Okay, that
somehow it is not coming in my this
no,
thing.
No, now it is there. What you do is on the green, you press the green button on the picture on the top left hand side. Top left hand side.
Top left hand side. No, sir. Na దగ్గర okay.
ఇంకా ఎక్కడ? Otherwise, zoom it. Zoom button ఉంది కదా మీకు?
Zoom button ఉంది. Zoom button ఉంటే లేదు సరిపోదు. This itself is good. Just 1 second. I think, yeah, I think this itself is optimum అండి ఇక్కడ దీంట్లో నా కంప్యూటర్ లో.
Please
where
click
is the green button?
Green button. Top left side, sir.
So this green button
okay.
You press. That one.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Right.
Okay. With IEI and IT.
This is only a trial, sir, because we are anyway.
That's what. Yeah, we see learning. Supervised learning. This is supervised.
Under
me
a teacher you have learned.
మీరు సూపర్వైజ్ చేశారు, నేను నేర్చుకున్నాను. దిస్ ఇస్ సూపర్వైజ్ లెర్నింగ్. థ్యాంక్ యూ వెరీ మచ్. ఓకే,
థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్.
రైట్ సార్.
Okay, thank you very much. I think we can leave and come again by 2 o'clock.
Right, madam. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Participants,